What is up guys, Crypto Bera here, back with another video, and it looks like Bitcoin is really starting to cool off after this big rally that we had recently. So unfortunately we haven't gotten our full circle moment where we broke down of the rising wedge, perfectly bounced on these two support levels, then came back up and we almost touched the rising wedge again. However, of course we cannot have everything in our favor, so we're gonna have a small little cooldown first, as it looks like right here. So we are still holding the support levels of around 123k to 122k, quickly bounced off the support level of around 120k. So even though we are getting a small pullback, there are no warning signs yet. So in an optimal scenario right now, we would again break the all-time high, flip it as support, and then move upwards towards the line of the rising wedge right here. So that has been the case for us in a bullish scenario that we have been looking for the last couple of weeks. So let's also take a quick look at the 4 hours, because there's something worth noting here. So on the 4-hourly chart, we have seen a bearish divergence, which means there are higher highs in the Bitcoin price and lower highs in the RSI momentum indicator, indicating that we were probably going to be getting some sideways movements or some downwards movement, which of course we have seen here, causing us to have this dip in the short term, which has now been recovering to some sideways movement, as you can see right here. So what is important for us, obviously, if we're going to go for the bull case, we're going to be looking to flip the all-time high resistance into support. And if we take a look at what would invalidate that, that would of course mean if we have to get some more downwards movement. And what's actually interesting is if we take this line and we lengthen it to this position, we can actually see for a while we broke down of this ascending line, but now we're back up. So if we're going to be testing this once again and we do break down, that won't be looking good for Bitcoin, and we would be back at around the 118, 119k levels. However, in the short term, it does look like we are just cooling off a bit, of course, after a pretty big move from around 109 all the way up to 126. So this is normal, of course. In the market, we're going to be seeing some corrections after we get a big move upwards. So let's also take a quick look at the ETF tables. For the past couple of days, we have seen some significant inflows that align perfectly with the Bitcoin upwards movement. So this was some nice buying pressure that has been added to Bitcoin in the last couple of days. Then finally, taking a look at the liquidation heat map, we of course have swept out a lot of liquidity on the way upwards here, but we do still have some liquidity left at the 126 and 127k level. That is because after the recent high, people have started opening shorts, possibly thinking that this is the Bitcoin top. And as you can see at the other side, the big pocket of liquidity is sitting around 108k. Of course, we do have liquidity stacking up on the levels in between that, but this is the major pocket right here after we had a big dip and people started opening long positions. So if you're unfamiliar with the Bitcoin liquidation heat map, Bitcoin tends to move towards the price where there is the most liquidity, with that position in the short term looks to be at around 126,000. So this could indicate that we once again will move upwards and test this position one more time to at the same time grab some of the liquidity right here. So this was the market update of today. Definitely be sure to hit the like and subscribe button and stay tuned for another market update in the next one.